And I remember once I was actually traveling with them on a couple of the seminars. I think I went to three of them on the Whatever Happened to the Human Race seminars. And uh, I was standing with him behind the stage. We were waiting for something to happen. He was going to be called out or something, but we were talking to each other. And I had been working on, I had already decided at that point, I'm going to start trying to understand cultural history because this seems to be what Christians are so weak on from my observation. So I said, I'm going to start doing that. And music was where I started. And I said to him, so look, now you wrote all this stuff. If I boil down everything you said in all of your books about music, I get about, I don't know, 14 pages. You didn't mean that to be any sort of final statement about anything, did you? And he goes like, no, not at all. And I said, you meant that for us to take that, those of us who were interested in those fields to take that and run further. And he goes, yeah, absolutely. And he was very much, but I'd met people at L'Abri, you see, who had kind of gotten stuck uh, I think it's a temptation in any group for people to start using just that framework to look out of. And one of the things I realized, I mean, I remember there was this guy from Minnesota there, and he was always talking about true truth and the upstairs and downstairs, lower story, upper story, and the grace nature dichotomy and all the stuff that Schaeffer would use. And then I said to myself, yeah, I'm not going to be that. I'm not meditating. I just felt like there was something about that didn't work to use that kind of language. So I had to figure out my own ways of explaining things. Plus, for instance, if we look at it now, I think those things are still very important, but we don't. Nobody talks in that language, even in L'Abri, that much anymore.
No.
So you have to remain. It's this weird dance between the time and the observation. And as T.S. Eliot said in the Four Quartets poem, you never get the words that you need to say what needs to be said until it's too late.
Wow.
That's
wrestling
true. With language. You're always trying to wrestle with what the phenomenon. And Rookmacher at one point says, when you're trying to describe something and you can kind of understand it and you have the picture of it, but you can't find the words. He says, that's the truest point of reality. You are now right on it. Because once you've gotten past it, then something else kicks in, and now you're dealing with history or something. Yeah. But as I've seen in the Christian church, we just get stuck in certain periods. So that the Christians of the 1970s were basically people who had sequestered themselves in a 1950s mindset way too long. And eventually then things change. But then when things change, it's just like there are Christians now who are living in the 1990s.
Yeah.